.706. Just set your fastest lap of the session. 19.607. That was your fastest lap.
All right, let's take a look at that. Sorry, I'm back in the video here. I forgot to do this while I was still in this session. So this is actually going to be a setup here that's pretty much the same as the C-Fix if you saw that. You want to enter up top, but you want to like immediately turn down so that you can just straighten out the exit. Pretty simple. So just brake about 50%, a little more, until you get the car turning. Once it comes down the hill, you just gun it. Maybe you have to pedal a little bit if your wheel is still turned, but that's about it. Okay, first corner here. Very interesting. I thought I was going to have to go all the way down to the bottom, but I really liked this half groove up line, where I enter about half groove off the line, and I never really left it. It just felt like, I was like, okay, well, aren't I losing time on the bottom? Every time I went to the very bottom, my car got a lot tighter. So for some reason, the car just handles better about this half groove up here. So keep that in mind, I guess. You can try it for yourself. I didn't really believe it until I did it over and over again. But yeah, this half line right here is just, half lane up is really good, in my opinion. Same thing in 3 and 4 as well. Enter about that half lane up, and then instead of keeping it there the whole time, I did kind of bring it down a little bit on exit, because you really do want to get that late arc and straighten out the corner a little bit on 3 and 4. Just because the angle just seems to be a lot less forgiving on exit in 3 and 4 than in 1 and 2. I'm back to 1 and 2 here. You'll see that I can just kind of ride this half lane up groove, not really even turn down, and the car just kind of drives itself off. But take a look at how it's different in 3 and 4 here, how I have to enter earlier, I have to get more rotation. It just feels like the car doesn't want to turn as well in 3 and 4, which is why I recommend going for that slightly longer trail brake and into the late apex. And again, braking technique, you're going to be as much as you can without sliding the tires. Sorry if you can't see here. You can go ahead and rewind to the beginning of the video if you want to see those markers and points. I will try to remember next time to do this in the session, obviously. Alright, now let's take a look at long run. Alright, now let's take a look at long run. So I don't know how much long run you're going to get. It's probably going to be a little better than trucks. But the main thing about Martinsville long run is that you just want to do whatever's possible not to slip that right rear tire. So for some reason I like these like wider entry late apexes more in this Xfinity car than in the truck. If you go really shallow, it tends to get really tight on me, which I know you can lower the brake bias, but lowering the brake bias at Martinsville is a slippery slope, because the more you lower your brake bias, the more you're prone to just absolutely bowling over cars in front of you. So like, I kind of like just entering about half a lane up and then just using my brake until it turns down the hill. It's not like the fastest thing in the world, but it just feels consistent. It feels like I can get past people's pressure pretty easily. Like you see, that's only a 10th off of my best ever lap, and that's just kind of riding around. It's a lot easier to keep this car under control on exit for some reason than the truck. So you might look out for getting tight, but I doubt you'll have to change your brake bias much, if at all. You can see that this Xfinity car drives a lot more consistently. Not really getting on the right rear at all, which is kind of what you want in Martinsville. Getting a car kicking out on the right rear is very annoying. You can go a little, the shallower you go, you'll see that the car still wants to slide up a little bit, so you'll have to be a lot more committed to that trail brake the lower you go. So let's see, I'm going to try really low entry here. It just seems like the car is just not quite as settled on that low line, even though it might be just a tiny bit faster. I just kind of like starting in the second lane and then bringing it down. Although as the tires wear and the car might not even want to come down at all, then you just kind of back up the corners, get to the bottom, just roll it. That might be what the play is as the tires wear. And it's a lot of the case of times at Martinsville, but again, like see, that's what happens when you overcook corners. So Martinsville is a lot about discipline of not overdriving corner entries, because once you overdrive corner entry, that's kind of all you got. So that's a good way to end it, I guess. 99.99. So tire wear is not going to be much of an issue if you're not sliding your tires every corner. So just do what you can to not slide your rear tire on either entry, middle, or exit, and you should be okay in terms of tires. Other than that, hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.